So hey everyone, how you doing? It's been a long time, I know, on YouTube since I've streamed directly to my YouTube channel. I haven't forgotten about you guys on YouTube. But the thing is though, guys, you can all just find me on Facebook. I know some of you guys don't like Facebook as much as I dislike YouTube. So I go to Facebook. I believe Facebook is just the less of the evils, right? But anyway, give me 1 second. I gotta make some changes to Facebook so I can set the StreamYard on Facebook to public. I don't know, it automatically publishes you guys on only friends only. So let me just make some of these adjustments on Facebook. But while I'm doing this, you guys, let me just give you basically the context here, okay? What you're seeing right now, you guys, with the 6 individuals there, these are flaming liberals, right? And you guys, when you read the title of this, come on, let's go thing. Goodness gracious, man. You know, you guys, about equipment. Equipment just takes me off because you can invest so much money on your equipment, and it when it craps on you, it craps on you. So, okay, so I got that switched to public. Let me see. Okay, so you guys are gonna. So let me get back to the context. Sorry about that. You guys, I digressed for a second there, but let me get back to the context. So with the title on this StreamYard, you guys, it's definitely called this. You guys, this manufactured hysteria. Um, we have to be honest, you guys. These liberals, they are definitely indoctrinated. This is liberal social conditioning. And they're not educated. They really don't know anything. They're taught only one way. And what they're taught, you guys, is to hate any other way of thinking. And don't be open to it. That is called indoctrination. I had to tell this other gentleman, this KKK member with a tan, who posted on my wall earlier this morning when he was addressing my brothers and sisters according to their race, and then talking about racism at the same time. These liberals are completely indoctrinated. They are stupid, but they believe because they have degrees from these universities that are liberal, which liberal education is an oxymoron. We know that. They deal with theoretical rubbish, philosophical rubbish, and then you have to get a complete nonsensical display of their version of existentialism. And I have to apologize to America, you guys, because academia, it's virtually non-existent. Critical thought is virtually non-existent. It's being replaced with cognitive dissonance and retarded progression. So let me play to you the example. Okay. And now a lot of you guys, if you're like me, because you understand the deep ramifications of this, that this is going to cause you massive amounts of discomfort to see individuals conduct themselves this way, basically predicated upon falsehoods. This is what you call manufactured massive hysteria. It's sad, but yet they think they are educated. Watch this. This is truly disturbing. So I'm just being quiet for a second. I have my initial thoughts, but now I even have a different subset of thoughts. Isn't that concerning? That's sad that these people are so emotional, completely devoid of logic. How is this not animal? How is this not animalistic behavior? I'm serious. How is this, you guys? The biggest thing that separates humans from animals is our logic. What happens if you strip a human, when you strip a human of their logic? These people are acting on impulse. Exactly, Linda. So you guys, Linda has been probably one of my longest supporters, but she said a fear for people are 100% controllable. You guys, this is what these institutions are doing. And if you guys watched any of my other videos that I've made previously, you guys, why I tie everything together when I talk about the unholy trinity: Islam, liberalism, and globalism. This is the concerted effort to destroy America from within. And these people, they are the byproduct. They are the result of liberal social conditioning. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's not funny. It really isn't. It's not funny to me. They're godless and they have no logic. Do you know how dangerous that is? To be godless and to have no logic. That means you have no morale. That means you have no sense of what civility is. There's no such thing as tact. There's no such thing as posture. There's no such thing as human decency. It's all about how you feel. What do you call that? You call that social. Listen, you guys, you call it secular humanism. This is what you get when you get rid of God. People who ramble, and it's completely senseless. Yes, it's frightening. But you guys, the reason why I'm so frank, the reason why I'm so direct is because, you guys, I have been trying to warn my country for a long time that even though it's happening, it's preventable. But if we don't do anything, we are going to have a generation who believes that purging is morally right. A generation who believes of stripping you of your constitutional rights is moral. Bestiality, incest, etc. It's at hand. Look at this. They're trying to normalize pedophilia. If you think this is too far-fetched, well, I bet you didn't even think that the America that you see today, 10 years ago, would actually come to fruition, would actually be real. With liberals, there's no extent to their decline. They are, listen, let me just tell you, there's like, it's an endless hole. And these are young ones. These are young ones. You know who's even worse? The professors. I had a the guy I was talking about earlier. They came on with his systematic racism, addressing whites by the color of their skin, but not the content of the character. But at the same time, he's talking about racism, the massive amounts of hypocrisy. But anyway, you guys, this guy basically said that evolution is completely scientific and that he only sides with facts. I said, interesting. You side with facts. I said, for evolution to be true, you have to use the scientific method. And one of the first rules of the scientific method, it is observation. So I want you to tell me, since you side with facts, who was there to observe the beginning of evolution? No answer. Told him again. I find it slightly ironic. The same democratically controlled institutions of supposed to be learning are teaching systematic racism yet again against whites. And I asked the older man who's supposed to be educated, talking about he has 2 degrees. I asked him, what's the difference of you learning about white privilege and espousing white privilege than what the KKK used to teach about blacks back in old America? What's the difference? No comment, no answer. But you guys, these liberals, when you basically put them into the corner and you start to get them to actually start to think critically, you guys, they like to pull the bait and switch. And let me just talk about some of these tactics. Ben Shapiro actually educates on some of these liberal tactics that they like to use. But let me just tell you some of them. And it's very common. And they use the red herrings, the straw man argument, and the bait and switch. I told him to basically prove to me facts of evolution. Did you know that he presented me facts, okay, separate of evolution, but presented as if it is consistent or it comes from evolution? Look out for the bait and switch that these liberals like to pull. Be careful of the red herrings. They like to introduce things, okay, into the argument that's not relevant towards the subject matter that you are addressing. And then they like to gift wrap it with something that's this dramatic emotional appeal of a conclusion and make it seem as if that was the argument and they have defeated you on the subject. I'm telling you, you guys, they have the minds of Satan. They are crafty dodgers. That's another word for Satan. They have forked tongues. Look out for the straw man arguments. Don't get straw manned by these liberals, where they just like to keep introducing more and more and more and more topics into the discussion. And so now that they have introduced so many topics, they have pulled you off of the topic of discussion. Because deep down inside, they know they cannot debate because they're full of cognitive dissonance. And in order to be full of cognitive dissonance, you have to know that you are being lied to, but you're compliant towards the lie. So you have accepted the lie and they know it. This is why they use the bait and switch, the straw man arguments, and the red herrings or the emotional appeals. They don't focus on logic. Why? Because they can't, because they know what they have presented is illogical. It's not logically consistent. Why don't they focus on morale? They can't, because it destroys their stance. This is what you get when you deal with secular humanism. Why do you think they call you names? I mean, why do you think they just snap and just call you names? It's social conditioning. Let me tell you guys something. When I was at this place I called it's the Wild Boar, but I'm gonna tell you what I call it. I call it the Wild Whore. I don't like to go to bars or anything like that. But the team wanted to go and hang out And I like to drink Shirley Temples when I go out, right? But I don't like bars. But anyway, so I went with my team the other night. And I'm you guys, I'm not exaggerating. You can talk to my entire team. They were there. I had a liberal. I was wearing the red Trump hat, right? I was wearing the red Trump hat. A white liberal was the next. She was on the next table, right? And she stared at my hat for about 15 minutes, and she didn't even blink. And then had a complete freaking meltdown and started to cry. You guys, they are destroying the minds of our youth. Satan likes to get our children when they're young. Us Republicans or us conservatives, we like to go after people when they're adults. We got to turn that around. We have to turn that around. Time is of the essence. This is sad. I'm telling you, this is sad. This is gut wrenching. I mean, I got to tell you, I really got to tell you is that I can tell you how we got to this. Besides the obvious, with them publishing these two professors who came from either Princeton or Harvard or Yale, one of them, right? These two professors publishing a book talking about that the founding fathers, right? That a lot of them were just theists, okay? They were just only theists. A lot of them weren't Christian. I mean, that's a lie from hell. But they published a book, you guys, with a lot of these misleading talking points, lies, right? No footnotes are published, okay, to basically substantiate their claims. None of that in the back of the book, you guys. But they considered this to be academic literature. And so this is one of the first swift blows, okay, to the Christian establishment. Because remember, Princeton, Harvard, and Yale were all Christian. They were founded on Christian principles. They were Christ-centric. Okay. And so you get these two professors, and they published this article and they started to teach it. Now they start to indoctrinate through the universities. Listen to how intelligent it is, though, because you have to give credit. It's an intelligent plan. You go after the minds of the youth. If you want to destroy a country, you destroy the youth. What do you think Hitler did? Stalin, Mao. How do you think these ruthless dictators were able to completely take over a country? It wasn't swift action. It took years of planning. They were calculated. They were methodical. They were maniacal. It's happening in our own country. So after the two liberal professors published this and they started to indoctrinate the youth, you guys, at our most prestigious institutions of learning, let's get rid of God. We all know that. But how did they do that? How did they bring society to that point? For more of a predominantly Christian society, how did they bring Christian society to that point? To accept, to say that it's to defy the United States Constitution. It's freedom of religion, not freedom from religion. How do you think they managed to basically pull that off? This is why I'm gonna say yet again, this is why I get so pissed off at these indoctrinated, fake, half-hearted, wimpy, soft-ass Christians talking about Christians need to stay out of politics. Christians need to keep their Christianity to themselves. This is why I get so pissed off. The reason why these liberals have been so successful at conquering the 7 mountains of influence is because they have been strategical. They got Christian America and got the Supreme Court to violate the United States Constitution and remove God from schools, remove Bibles from schools, remove prayer from schools. It didn't happen instantly. It was calculated. I have to put emphasis on that because it's like a lot of us conservatives, we're so used to being in la la land. And the liberals have been kicking our butts. Well, conservatives are starting to wake up now. But are we going to take the fight to the liberal establishment all the way and restore our constitutional republic? I mean, they have our masses so brainwashed that they actually believe we're a democracy. They actually have the masses so brainwashed, they believe that the document of separation between church and state is actually part of the Constitution. Christians aren't even taught their Christian American history. But now they're starting to indoctrinate the youth with these liberal euphemisms called Christian privilege. They're coming after the church, the spiritual church, and they are manipulating the commercialized church, the fake church. And they're producing imposters, fakes. They are destroying the arts. They are destroying academia. They are destroying the family. They are destroying government. They are destroying religion. Everything a liberal touches, they destroy. That's because their father is Satan. Steal, kill, and destroy. Call me a liar. Well, you know what? Basically, here, let me give you reasons why I say that their father is Satan, to steal, kill, and destroy. Slave owners own slaves. They killed slaves. Slaves got free. They didn't want them to be free. They killed black and white Republicans. Steal, kill, destroy. Burn down Republican towns. Lynched black and white Republicans. Destroyed Native Americans. Democrats. Take God out of school. Democrats. Voted against women's rights, minority rights. Democrats all through history. Drop bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Democrats put Japanese citizens, American citizens in internment camps. Democrats. Jim Crow laws, brown code laws. Democrats. Now today, who's teaching anti-Americanism? Democrats. Hate America. Democrats. The Constitution isn't relevant anymore. Democrats. Corruption at all levels. Democrats. Pedophilia. Democrats. Killing your baby even after your baby is born. Democrats. The fake pastors. Democrats. The reverse racism. Democrats. Black Lives Matter, Democrats. KKK, Democrats. Antifa, Democrats. Black Hebrew Israelites, Democrats. Black Panthers, Democrats. Nazism, Democrats. Socialism, Democrats. Am I wrong? Because remember now, my opinion doesn't mean anything. I don't like emotional appeals. I like informed appeals. America, I'm so sick of these Christians with this false piety, this this religiosity that they have. All we got to do is just pray and fervently just keep praying and just fervently keep praying and fervently just keep praying and fervently keep praying. It's called religiosity. It's called being a religious coward. Because of that kind of version of Christianity, that's the reason why the slave trade was implemented in the United States in the first place. And that's the reason why it lasted so long in the first place. Because of that kind of passivity due to Christians, that's the reason why so many blacks and so many whites were actually killed and murdered in the streets. That kind of Christianity. No, it's those real Christians that actually stood up. And like Frederick Douglass, I love when he said that there's 3 boxes you need to check. The ballot box, right? What was the other one? He said the gun box, the ballot box. Then there was one more he said. I can't remember. I just had the third one there. I can't stand that when things elude me. But anyway, you guys get what I'm saying. But the thing is, though, it took these bold Christians, aka radical Republicans, who stood up and said, look, we're sick of you people. And of course, we know that the Civil War wasn't just only about slavery. We know close to 600,000 Americans died. But my point is this: all this talking about just pray fervently, you're a coward. And other people haven't told you, but you're a coward. Cowards do not change history. Cowards are complicit with the worst of history, never with the best of it. Your enemy shouldn't have more guts than you. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. It just kind of makes me want to regurgitate. Wait, the ballot box, the jury box, and the cartridge box. Thank you, Ron, my man. Yes, those are the 3 boxes that Frederick Douglass said to check off. Frederick Douglass was a radical Republican. Can we start telling the truth? And then also, too, there's a lot of conservatives. They get pulled by their heartstrings. Let me conclude with this because I got to go shopping. Man, I hate being single. I'm telling you, I have to go shopping for food. I hate shopping for food, you guys. I'm digressing here. I like to go out and eat just due to the fact that I don't like cooking by myself because it just lets me know how single I am. So shopping by myself, it's not fun. It's boring. I'm a guy. I just don't like it. It seems like it's just not me. Then I have a hard time picking out what kind of food I want. So I intentionally plan on being at the grocery store for about 20 minutes and I'm there for like 2 hours because I'm so indecisive when I get there. But I'm not an indecisive person. But I am when I'm at the grocery store. But anyway. Before I conclude, you guys, it's time that a lot of these people take their prayers and they get up and they start to put their prayers into action. Put them in action. If you think We are not on the verge of slipping back into slavery. If you think we're not on the verge of turning into modern day Sodom and Gomorrah fully, you've lost your mind. See, the reason why America became so prosperous, right? The reason why America was able to flourish so much is because of the God that we are founded upon. And I'm going to use this again as a source of reference. If you are unfamiliar with the matrix of liberty, please type it in. It is as old as America, and it is the building block of our constitutional republic. And that building block is what we have to get back to restore our constitutional republic. Remember, it's not so much about the people that you have. It's about the right people being in positions of influence to create a culture change. Sorry to present you this alarming news or this video that's completely just you guys, I know what I talk about. It isn't for the the faint of heart. I just like to take reality head on because I actually have joy and peace in facing reality, because I don't want you guys to be a supreme denialist like the left. The left, they're supreme denialists. They're out of touch with reality. In order to fix the problem, to correct anything, you have to acknowledge the problem first. You have to admit that the problem exists. I love you all. Till next time, you all take it easy. Please make sure to share these videos on every platform of social media. Stay blessed. Yeshua bless you.